Good evening. We are live. Thank you all for joining me. We are live tonight. I think we're live. All right, we are live. If you need help, welcome to Mrs. Taylor's classroom. Math class. If you need help with your math problems tonight, please give me a text. Send me a text at 407-801-9255. Again, if you need help with your math tonight, 407-801-525-9255. Sorry about that. So, but if no one texts in, tonight we're going to focus on 6th grade math and do a couple of problems that 6th graders have to do here, at least in the state of Florida. So we're going to just do some problems that they will see this year, this coming year, on the FSA for 6th graders. So let's get started. It says Jordan has 3 blue marbles and 8 red marbles. What is the ratio of blue marbles to red marbles? Now, somebody out there probably knows the answer to this question. So, is it going to be 3 to 3, 3 to 5, 3 to 8, or 3 to 11? In this case, it's going to be blue marbles is 3, red marbles is 8, so it's going to be a 3 to 8 ratio. So up here, gotta get that right. All right, let's go to another problem. Again, tonight, our focus is going to be on the 6th graders if no one calls in. So we'll just do a lot of 6th grade math until we get someone to text a math problem. Let's go to the next one. It says, which statement describes a unit rate? Which statement describes a unit rate? Would it be Sarah ate 1 cookie? Sarah is driving 16 miles. Sarah is driving 30 miles per 1 hour. Or Sarah ate 3 crackers and 1 apple. For this problem here, the unit rate is comparing 2 quantities. Or in this case, it's going to be miles and hours. So Sarah is driving 30 miles per hour is going to be our unit rate. Okay. Let's go to another problem. It says Tom knows that in his school, 10 out of every 85 students are left-handed. There are 391 students in Tom's school. How many students in Tom's school are left-handed? Well, this kind of problem, we got to set up a proportion. You guys remember proportion? Proportion. So we got to set up a proportion. And a proportion is a comparison of 2 ratios. So I got to set up one ratio. My first ratio is going to be 10 out of every 85 students. So I'm going to say 10 over 85. And then I'm going to set that equal to my other proportion, which is going to be, there are 391 students in Tom's school. So this is like the total number of students. We want to figure out the unknown, how many of them that might be left-handed. So we're going to put the total down here is 391. And then to solve a proportion, we have to cross multiply. So that's it. To solve a proportion, you have to cross multiply. My phone is ringing. Hold on. Shut that off. So we're going to say 85 times x is equal to 10 times 391. And so 85x is going to equal 3,910. Now parents, if you are a parent of a 6th grader, your child is not allowed to use a calculator. That's just a FYI. Your child in the 6th grade is not allowed to use a calculator. So if you see them with a calculator, okay, do that long math. So we got to go over here and do our 85 into 3910. So let's do it. I do old school math. Don't do the new school math. Really don't know how to do the new school math. So I'm going to come over here and say, let's guess. Let's see. I know 85 can't go into 39, so I'm just going to go for 85 into 391. So let's see. If I had 80, I could round down to 80. And what's that? Close to 300. Let's see. 80 times 4 would get me, what's that? 320, and 80 times 5 would give me 400. So let's start with 85 times 4. Let's see how close I get. So this is going to be 20, 32, or 334. So I think I could stop right there. And so I'm going to say 85 into 391 is going to be 4 times. And then this is going to be 85 times 4, which is 340. And I'm going to subtract that, and I get 51. Bring down is 0. And so let's see how many times. Let's see, can we do 85 times 5? So we get 25. That's going to be 42. But now let's do 85 times 6, and we get 30. And that's 48, 49, 50, 51. And that's the number we need. So this is going to be a 6 here, and this is going to be 510. We get a remainder of 0. We like that. We like to have the remainders of 0. So x comes out to be 46, but what does that mean? Let's go back to the question. It says, how many students in Tom's school are left-handed? So we can say 46 students in Tom's school are, I teach math, not language arts, left-handed. There we go. Did we answer our question? Yes, we did. All right, let's go to our next question. Again, if you want me to do a math problem for you, you can text me at 407-801-9255, and I'll help you out the best way I know how. Let's do another problem. On the first day of shooting a movie, a director uses 30% of a film reel. The strip of the film used was 90 meters long. What is the standard length of the film reel? So we got to do a couple of things here. First, we got to figure out what does all this mean. So let's go to this part here. So a director uses 30% of the film reel. Well, we got to figure out, well, what is this? This right here can be translated into a mathematical expression. 30% of, the word of means multiplication. And then the film reel, did they tell us how long that was? No, that's what we got to look for. Okay, so then it says the strip of the film used was 90 meters long. So I need to translate it like this. I'm going to take my 30% and I'm going to multiply that and let's say times the film reel. And then I know that 30% of that is equal to 90 meters. Okay? So let's define a variable. So we'll say the film reel is equal to, let's just say R. So now let's go multiply. We'll say 30% instead. So we can say 30% a couple of ways. We can say 0.3, or we could say 30 over 100. Okay? So I think I'm going to do 30 over 100. So I could do either or. So I'm going to say 30 over 100, and I'm going to multiply it times R is equal to 90. Now, to solve this problem, I need to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of my fraction. So y'all remember reciprocal? So reciprocal, let's say the reciprocal of 30 over 100 is 100 over 30. So I'm going to multiply, let me change colors. Multiply both sides by 100 over 30. Okay? So on this left-hand side, they cross out to equal 1. So you're just left with R. On the right-hand side, I can make this 90 over 1, and then I can multiply the fractions. Now, when I multiply fractions and they're big numbers like this, I like to simplify my factors first. So I know that this 90 and this 30, one numerator and one denominator, have something in common. I can divide both of these by 30. So let me see. I know it's a lot of colors on here now. 30. But I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay? So 90 divided by 30 is going to get me 3. And 30 divided by 30 is going to get me 1. So now I'm left with 3 times 100, or I could say R is equal to 300. But what does that translate into? It says, what is the standard length of a film reel? So we can say the standard length of a film reel is 300 meters. And that is our answer. Voila, we got it. So if you need help with a math problem, math question, you can text me at 407-801-9255. If not, I'll just keep doing this math right here. Let's do another problem. So it says here, an expression is shown, 4 over 5 divided by 8 over 7. What is the value of the expression? So with this, we have to multiply. I know some teachers like to say we like to keep, change, flip. You know, that's one way of saying it. Or you could say I can multiply. We need to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. And we just talked about reciprocal. Reciprocal means to basically switch the denominator with the numerator and numerator with the denominator. So you're flipping it. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4 over 5 times 7 over 8. Now, again, like I said, I like to do it, well, I like to simplify my factors. But I'll do it 2 different ways. Let's write this twice. So the regular way to multiply fractions is just to say 4 times 7 and 5 times 8. You get 28 over 40. And then you simplify your fraction. I know I could divide both the 28 and the 40 by 4, and I would get 7 over 10. And that would be my simplified expression. But another way to do it is to simplify your factors before you multiply. So here I know that I can say 4 divided by 4 and 8 divided by 4. And then I can rewrite this problem as, that's a 1 here, a 2 here. I can say 1 over 5 times 7 over 2. And I get 1 times 7 and 5 times 2. And I get my 7 over 10. Okay. If you're watching, you can say, hey Kim, you can speak to me. It's okay. Go ahead and give me a shout out in the comments. Let's do another problem. Again, if you would like for me to help you, go ahead and call or text me 407-801-9255. But other than that, I'll just keep doing some math. I don't have a problem with that because I love math. So next problem, it says an expression is shown 2 1/4 divided by 1 2/5. What is the value of the expression? So with this, you still have to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second one, but in this case, we have mixed numbers. You guys know what a mixed number is? A mixed number is what it sounds like. It's a whole number and a fraction, a mixed number. So let's change our mixed numbers to improper fractions. That means that our numerator is going to be greater than our denominator. So how do we switch them around? 2 1/4. So you say 4 times 2, and then you would add the 1. So this is going to be 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is going to be 9. So let me write that out. 4 times 2 plus 1. And you keep the same denominator, and you get 9 over 4. Now let's do the other fraction. You have 1 2/5. So you would multiply and add. So that's going to be 5 times 1 plus 2. And keep the same denominator of 5. And you're going to get 7 over 5. So now let's rewrite this with the new stuff. So instead of saying 2 1/4, we're going to say 9/4. And then divided by, instead of 1 2/5, we're going to say 7/5. Now, let's do what we did before. Multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Can we simplify any of our factors before we multiply? No, we cannot. So let's multiply. We have 9 times 5, 4 times 7, and we get 45 over 28. Well, let's flip our fraction back to a mixed number. So over here you can do division. How many times does 28 go into 45? That's going to be 1 time. 1 times 28 is 28. And 45 minus 28 is going to get us 17. So our final answer, let's figure out the pieces because some people get this mixed up. This is going to be your whole number of your mixed number. This number is going to be your denominator, your numerator. N-U-M-E-R. And here is your denominator. So we put it all together, and our answer is going to be 1 and 17 over 28. So it depends on how they want you to write the answer. Either answer would be correct depending on how you know, they want you to input the final answer. Okay, let's go to another problem. Again, you can interrupt me at any time if you would like to me to do a problem for you. Just text me and I'll do it. So, next problem. It says a rectangular plot of land has an area of 3/2 square kilometers and a length of 3/4 kilometers. What is the width of the land, of the plot of land? So, what shape is this? It's a rectangle. And there's nothing wrong with you drawing a picture to figure out what am I going to do. So, it tells you that the area, and we go ahead and write that in the middle. The area is 3/2 kilometers squared. And then the length is going to be 3/4 kilometers. And you need to find the width. So in order to find the area of a rectangle, it is area is equal to length times the width. So let's write it all down. We can write 3/2 is equal to 3/4 times W. So again, in order for me to solve this problem, I need to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal of 3/4 is going to be 4/3. So I have on the right hand side, we can cancel out this. And we're just left with W. On the left hand side, this is a very nice cancellation. I can do 12/6, or I can just cancel everything out. But I'll go ahead and do 12/6 because it's an easy problem to simplify. So we get 12/6, and our width is going to be 2. So the width of the plot of land, let's answer the question. The width of the plot of land is 2 kilometers. And that's that answer. Boom, boom, and you got it. Let's do another problem. All the problems that I'm doing tonight, if no one calls in, these are all 6th grade standards. So if you're like, wow, this looks a little advanced, this is what your 6th grader should know how to do. Okay, at least by the end of the school year. Because some of the stuff they haven't gotten to, but of course it's still the beginning. And they're still learning. I think some 6th graders are still on integers, or I know my son is working with integers and he's in the 6th grade. So, but let's do this problem here. It says an expression is shown 2,925 divided by 15. What is the value of the expression? So this is just a basic division problem. So we have 15 into 2,925. How many times does 15 go into 29? That would be 1 time. 1 times 15 is 15. Let's subtract. And this is going to be 14. And we're going to bring down this 2. So, how many times does 15 go into 142? Well, I don't know that right off, so let me just do some work on the side. Let's start high. Let's say 15 times 7. That's going to get me 35. That's 105. Seems like I could go some more. 15 times 8. It's going to get me 40. That's going to get me 120. And I know that's probably, should I stop? No, let's go again. 15 times 9. It's going to get me 45. 135. So, this is going to be 9. And 9 times 15 is going to be 135. And so we can do our subtraction. We're going to borrow and carry that over to the ones place. And this is going to be 7. And we're going to bring down our 5. Now, I do know this one. I know this is going to be 5, but I'll show you. 15 times 5 is going to be 25. And then you just say 1 times 5 is 5. Add 2 to get 75. And our remainder is going to be 0. So our answer to this expression is 195. And we like it when we get a remainder of 0. It's like, whew, I felt like I did that problem right. Let's do another. So this problem here says an expression is shown 2,312 and 2/10 plus 3 and 4/10. What is the value of the expression? So this is your basic addition. I think most 6th graders have already gone over this in their classes. I think it's like the first unit in their math class. So your 6th graders should know how to do this already. And we're just going to add everything together. Whoa! 3, 2. And we're going to call it a day, and that's it. 2,315 and 6/10 is our answer. Let's go to the next problem. Again, if you want me to do a math problem for you or your child, you can text me at 407-801-9255, and I'm here. Okay, let's do another one. Greatest common factor. Oh boy, a lot of people get this mixed up. So we have greatest common factor, we got least common multiple, but this is like some confusing stuff sometimes. But greatest common factor. What is the greatest common factor of 15 and 20? So this is when you need to know your times table. So what are your factors of 15? Well, I know I could do 1 times 15, and I could do 3 times 5. Okay, are there any more? No, there aren't any more. What are the factors of 20? I could do 1 times 20, 2 times 10. Can I do 3? No, I could do 4. 4 times 5. And that's it. So what factors do they have in common? Let's circle what they have in common. They have 1 and they have 5. But what is the greatest common factor? In this case, it's going to be 5. The GCF. That's what we call it, GCF. That's what that means. Okay, now let's go to the other one, which is the least common multiple. A lot of people get these mixed up, GCF, LCM. Well, let's look at the difference. So, what is the least common multiple of 7 and 12? So, let's talk about multiples of 7. Multiples of 7. So we have 7. Let's count by 7s. That's what it means. Let's count by 7s. So if we count by 7s, we got 7 and then 14 and 21, 28. What's that? 35. What's some more? 42. 49. Let's 7 times 7, 7 times 8, 56. 63. What else? 7 times 10 gives me 70. And I go to 77. I go 84. That takes me all the way to 7 times 12. Okay? Now let's find multiples of 12. So I can say 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, 144. That takes me to 12 times 12 as well. So, what is the smallest multiple they have in common? Well, the smallest one I have, the only one I see so far, is going to be the 84. So, for this answer, the least common multiple is going to equal 84. And we call this the LCM. Now, they know how to do this. You got to know the difference between the two. Now let's see how we can apply it to a different question. So with this question, it says, which expression is equivalent to 8 plus 20? So before we even look at the answer choices, we know that 8 plus 20 is going to get me 28. So let's look at a way you can do this problem. One way you can do this problem is to go and figure out the answer to each one of these problems. So I can say, 4 plus 24. 4 plus 20 is going to give me 24. In 24, I could do like this, 4 and 24, and I get, I think it's like 96 or something like that. Yeah, I think this is 96, okay? I could say 4 times 7, and I'll get 28. So we know this is going to be our answer now. But I could keep going. Let's say I could say 2 times, no, not 20, 2 times 12, that's going to give me 24. And this is 2 times, what's that, 24? And that's going to give me 48, okay? That's one way of doing this problem. But what they want you to do as a student, they want the student to realize that we have, let's do factors of 8. They want the student to be able to do this. There's factors of 8, and then we have the factors of 20. So I could say 1 times 8, 2 times 4, and here it would be 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. And so we're looking at what they have in common. So we know we have 1 and 2 and 4. All right. So we take the GCF of both of them, and it's going to be 4. So we're going to take the 4 out, and what's left over? So this is what they want the kids to be able to do. So basically what you're doing, let me erase that a little bit, to give you a little bit more background. You're going to take your 8 plus your 20, and you're going to break this down into 4 times 2 plus, and break this 20 down into 4 times 5. Okay? So you need to factor out the GCF, which is going to be the 4. So when you take the 4 out, in the parentheses, what's left over is your 2 plus 5. That's what they want the students to recognize. That's how they got to really this answer here. But that's what they want the students to recognize that. And if they need to know both ways. If they don't remember this way about the greatest common factor, they should at least, know how to go through and, solve an expression like the ones they have in each one of the answer choices. But that's what they want the kids to do. But anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so here's another one, just like the one we had before. We have an equation is shown, 30 plus 12, and they want to know, well, what's going to be the number, or really the GCF, that goes in this rectangular box. So let's find factors of 30. So factors of 30. I know I have 1 times 30, 2 times 15, I could say 3 times 10. The number 4, no, I could do 5. 5 times 6, and I think that's where I want to be. Now let's do factors of 12. And I could do 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times, what's that, 4? Yes. So what do they have in common? Well, they have the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 6. So 6 is my GCF. So I can go over here, and if I'm breaking this down, like I did before, I'm saying 6 times 5 plus 6 times 2. And so I'm going to factor out the 6, and what's left over is going to be my 5 plus 2. So the answer to this question is going to be 6. Easy as pie, right? Yes. This is what your 6th grader has to know how to do. And for some of them, some kids it's difficult, some kids it's easy. It all depends on the kid and their math background. Okay, let's do another. It says Chicago, Illinois has an elevation of 600 feet above sea level, and the elevation of Desert Shores, California is negative 200 feet. Select all true statements. Well, before I will select the statement, I like to make a visual of what they're talking about. So let's just draw a line. And let me put a 0 here. 0 is going to equal my sea level. And then I know, according to my text, it says that Chicago is 600 feet above sea level. So we'll call this 600 feet here, and that'll be Chicago. And then it says the elevation of Desert Shores is negative 200 feet. So we'll call this negative 200, and this would be my Desert Shores. Okay, so now let's go and look at our answer choices and see. So it says select all the true statements. Now the student has to be able to analyze each one of the statements, because with this type of question, it's usually if you got to get them all right in order to get this particular question right. It's no good to get just one answer right and the other one wrong. No, all have to be right in order to get full credit. So Desert Shores is above sea level. Well, looking at our picture, it's not. So we can eliminate this answer choice. Then it says Desert Shores is at sea level. No, it's not. It's below it. Get rid of it. And then it says Desert Shores is below sea level. And that is true. So we'll circle that one. Now it says the difference in the elevations is less than 600 feet. Well, they want to know the difference in elevations. Let's talk about that. So, what is it? How many spaces is it between sea level and Chicago? It's going to be 600. How many spaces is it between sea level and Desert Shores? Well, it's 200 spaces. If we add them together, that's going to be 800. Okay, in this case, it's going to be 800 feet in between the two of them. So, the difference in the elevations is less than 600 feet. No, it's not. The difference, oh, let me cross it out. The difference in the elevations is 600 feet. Nope, it's not. And it says the difference in the elevations is more than 600 feet. And it is. And there you have it. Those questions are usually highly missed because it takes time to analyze each answer choice. And yeah, you just gotta be patient and just take your time. It's not really a hard question, it just takes time. Okay, let's look at the next question. It says Desert Shores, California is located at an elevation that is below sea level. What is a possible elevation for Desert Shores? Well, if you're going to be below sea level, you have to be a negative number. So this is our only choice. And so we're going to pick this. C is negative 200 feet. Let's do another problem. I know this is helping somebody. If not today, maybe tomorrow. But it's going to help somebody. Now, what is the opposite of negative 5? When we say opposite, we want to know what's the positive value. And in this case, it's just going to be 5. So we can put positive 5, or we can just put 5. And that's it. But when they talk about opposites also, let's make sure we are clear about that. When we're on a number line, and we have 0, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a negative 5. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's going to be positive 5. We're talking about the distance that they are away from 0. So this is 5 units, and this is 5 units. So they are opposite, so they're equal distance away from 0. Just thought I'd say that. Okay, moving on. Next question says, what is the value of x? What is the value of the x-coordinate that is 9 units to the left of 5 and negative 8? So there are a couple of ways you can do this. If you are not sure, but you know how to plot a point, you can always draw a grid. So I can draw a coordinate plane like this. And draw it like this. I got a negative 8. I hope I got enough space. So 5 and negative 8. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here would be 5 and negative 8. Now they say if I go 9 units to the left, let's count 9 units to the left. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I'm 9 units to the left, what's my x-coordinate? Well, let's look at this ordered pair. This ordered pair is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be negative 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And negative 8. What's going to be the x-coordinate? The x-coordinate is going to be negative 4. So -4 would be the x-coordinate. But what is another way to do this and not draw the picture? Another way to do this is to actually do some math. You can say the x-coordinate we have so far is 5. So we can say 5 minus 9. And I know to subtract because I'm going to the left. So 5 minus 9 is going to be -4. So that's another way of getting the problem. You can either plot the point and count 9 spaces to the left, or you can just subtract your 9 units from 5 and get the same answer. Okay, let's do another problem. So we have here, it says, which value is furthest from 0 on a number line? Well, let's put these values on a number line. So let's draw a line. And it's not going to be exact because these are some fairly large numbers and I only have so much space. So we'll put a 0 here. So if I'm going to put 20, 20 is going to be on the right hand side. And let's just say it's there. And then -21 is going to be on the left hand side. And let's just put that there. Then it says 20.5. Now these bars here, when you see that, that means absolute value. So they just talk about distance a number is away from 0. So let's write that down. Distance a number is from 0. That's what absolute value is. So the absolute value of 20.5. So where's 20.5? 20.5 is going to be on the right hand side and it's greater than 20. So we're going to put that on the right hand side of 20. And then -21.5. This comes out to be that. This comes out to be 21.5. Okay? So, but if I had to plot -21.5, it would be on the left-hand side. Okay? But, so we'll put it on here. It'll be like right here. If I plot it. Okay? But the absolute value of it is going to be equal to 21.5. So they want to know which one is farthest away from 0. And in this case, it's going to be the 21.5. Boom, boom, boom. And it doesn't matter that it says negative because we're talking about the distance away from 0. And that's going to be the 21.5. All right, let's do another problem. So we have here, which value is equivalent to the expression 4 to the 5th power? So 4 to the 5th power, notice how they got all these answers. They got 9, they have 20, they have 625, and they have 1024. Let me tell you, the most commonly select answer is going to be this 20. But that's not going to be right. Because some people think that 4 to the 5th power, they think it equals 4 times 5, which is 20. And let's go ahead and put a big old, nope, that's not what it means. Yes, that is not what it means. So, what it means is you have 4 to the 5th, means you multiply 4, which is your base number, 5 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's get to multiplying. So if I take these two, it's going to be 16. Then I'm going to rewrite everything over. And then I'm going to do 16 times 4, which is 64. And then I'm going to write everything over again. And now I'm going to do 64 times 4, which is 256. And now lastly, I'm going to do 256 times 4 and get 1024. So it's going to be answer choice D. All right, let's keep going. This one says, which expression has a coefficient of 2? Well, this right here, you have to know your vocabulary for this. Let's go define this vocabulary. Let's go do it. So 3, this 3 is a constant because it's just a standalone number, no variable with it. In part B, you have a coefficient. You have a coefficient of 2. You have a variable x, and you have the exponent of 5. It's important to know all your pieces. For this one here, your coefficient is 4, and you have the variable x and the exponent of 2. Here you have a coefficient of 3 over 2 and a variable of x. You do have an exponent, it's just not shown. And if it's not shown, it's understood to be a 1. Okay, so our answer, of course, is going to be B. But know the pieces. Know all of the pieces of an expression. Or in this case, a monomial. We call it that. Let's go to the next question. So here it says, what is the surface area in centimeters of a cube with a side length S of 1/3 centimeter? So a cube, one thing we should know about a cube, it's like a Rubik's Cube. All the sides of the cube are going to be of equal length. So if I have a cube, let me draw one. Let's draw a little cube here. Okay, so each one of the sides is going to be the same length. So all of them are 1/3. I put 1/3 all over this place. Okay? And the rest of them all too. I just can't get in there. So what we're going to do is, how do you find the surface area of a cube? Well, this is going to be A, area equals 6 times side squared. Alright? So if S is equal to 1/3, then you're going to say 6 times 1/3 squared. And you get 6 times 1/9. And this is going to be 6/1. So you can say this is going to be 6/9. I can simplify my fraction to be 6 divided, I can simplify 6 divided by 3 and 9 divided by 3. And so my area is going to be equal to 2/3. And in this case, it's going to be 2/3 square centimeters. That is going to be my surface area. Is this right here? Alright, let's keep going. It says Alyssa attends football games at her school. At each football game, she buys a bottle of water for 75 cents and a candy bar for X dollars. Select all expressions that represent the amount of money in dollars Alyssa spends after attending 6 football games. So with this here, we have to, again, select all the expressions that apply. But let's go make it make sense up here. So Alyssa attends football games at her school. At each game, she buys the same stuff every time. She's going to spend 75 cents on water and X amount of dollars on a candy bar. So we know the total price is going to be 0.75 plus the price of the candy bar. Okay? But then they say that Alyssa spends, how many games she attends? 6 football games. She spends after attending 6 football games. So she's going to do this 6 times. So after we get a total, we need to multiply this times 6. So I can write this 2 different ways. I can write it like the current way we have it written, or I could distribute. I could say 6 times 0.75 plus 6 times x. But can I do anything else? No, these are pretty much, this is it. So let's look at our answer choices. This has 6 times 0.75 times x. We don't need that one. We get rid of that. The next one is 6 times 0.75 plus x. That's a good one. That's one of our choices. And then the next one is 6 times 0.75 plus 6 times x. That's a good one as well. Here it has 6 plus 0.75 plus x. Nope. Nope. And here you're adding and then multiplying. Nope. These are our choices, and that's what it should be. Alright, let's do another problem. It's almost time for me to get offline, so I'll do probably 1 or 2 more problems, and then I'll call it a night. Okay, so we'll make this one our last problem. So here it says, which is an equivalent way to express 3y? Well, 3y means that I have y and I'm adding it 3 times. So it's going to be answer choice C. Let's look at the other answers though. Let's look at this one, this D down here. There's an exponent of 1 with each one of the y's. So really you're writing y, 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's going to be y cubed. So really A and D are the same answer. Well, it is 8:29 and I've done a ton of problems. So you can look at this at your leisure if you like to get a review of some 6th grade math. If you have a 6th grader, you want them to see some up-and-coming stuff they're going to be doing in their classrooms, you can let them look at this video. But it's been great. We'll do this again next Monday. Maybe we'll get somebody to send a math problem in, or maybe not. But I'm here if I'm available. If you need some help on your math, you can always come to Mrs. Taylor's math class. Ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.